Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I want to chat a little bit about when you're spending way too much time thinking about your ex and how it's weird. I used to make videos, and I've talked about this in the past, but one of the things that's really tough, especially in the early parts of this, it seems like I say that all the time because there's a lot of really hard parts about this, especially at the beginning part of it, is you spend so much time worrying about, ruminating about, trying to figure out your ex. I get it, right? I mean, it's everybody goes through that. Everybody goes through a phase where they're trying to, they're questioning the situation, they're trying to figure it out. And they're devoting so much attention and so much effort onto the question of why. Why is this happening? Why did this happen? Why are they doing what they're doing? What did I do? What could I do different? What mistakes did I make? Because somebody will inevitably will tell you, you did X, Y, Z, and that's why they're doing this. It's a tit for tat, so to speak. In and of itself, that is a pretty good example of a double bind. No matter what you do, there's a problem with whatever you decide to do. You decide to fight back, it's your fault. You don't fight back, they get away with everything. You get caught up in this mode to where you're in this mental gymnastics trying to do the right thing. A lot of people in the beginning part of this have a really tough time breaking free from this because you feel like you are giving the ex a pass on the crap that they're doing, and you feel like if you don't fight everything, then everyone's just going to believe it, and you're basically, by not responding or not engaging, that you are acknowledging that that's true. And I think it's basically part of human nature, right? I mean, if someone's attacking you or attacking your credibility or your character, you want to defend yourself. You want to basically say, hey, wait a minute, no, that's not true. Here's the facts. Or if your ex is taking their bony little finger and going, boop, right in your eye, you want to not get back at them, but you want to counter that argument and prove your point. You want to debate them and say, no, you're wrong, this is why. Every one of you more than likely is going to go through a phase where you're going to do that. You'll either do that via email, you do that in person. And it's at some point you're going to realize that it's an exercise in frustration. It doesn't accomplish anything. And that you'll start to feel or think that you're going crazy because you're effectively beating your head against the wall, accomplishing nothing. When you get to that point where you start realizing that this isn't effective, it's not helping you, it's not really getting back at the ex. You're not accomplishing anything to a level to where you're landing a blow and you're having a mighty victory. And it's not actually helping your kids too, if you have children. So the thing is, when you start getting to the point where this makes sense, and I hope, even if you're early into it, I hope that this video can drill through the fog of war, so to speak, and help you realize what you're going through. Help you realize that you're just beating your head against the wall. It took me a long time. It took me a couple of years to get to the point where I'm just like, I just can't keep doing this anymore. It was a long involved process. So it was not, it wasn't easy. It wasn't quick. It wasn't mildly painful. It wasn't a little inconvenient. It was a freaking disaster. But when you get to that point, to where things are starting to make some sense, or at the bare minimum, you're getting to the point where you're just like, I don't want to do this anymore. This isn't accomplishing anything. You know, I can scream from the rooftops that everything the person is saying isn't true, or try to point it out, or try to point out the nuances. And, you know, the people that are on Team X are going to believe them. The people who don't know will be like, I don't know. You know, they'll kind of believe both of you. And then you'll have the people on Team U who just support you 100%. Trying to fight that battle will drive you crazy. So here's the deal. And this is the reality of this, and also in some ways a good point. And that is, once you get to that point that you realize that this just isn't working and you need to do something different, you start to pivot, or hopefully you will start to pivot and focus your energy on other things. In other words, on making your life better. Instead of sitting around with, and this is so bizarre, because I know that I'm making a channel about this and I'm talking about it, but the only reason I'm doing this is to try to help you guys through it. Because I know that if I just went and did other things, kind of like what I'm doing now, you know, I was working on a little camping video on my driveway, hung some lights up and, you know, whatever. It'd be easy for me just to kind of, you know, go focus on my life. But I'm not. I remember how hard this was for me. And I'm hoping that by putting this content out, having this information out there, you'll see somebody who you believe has credibility, who you believe suffered the emotional turmoil that you are probably currently going through, and see somebody who's made it to the other side. So many people, when they're done with this, they just wash their hands, they, you know, put it away, they put all the stuff in a box. I mean, even if they heal from it, even if you're able to like really process it so you don't get triggered by this stuff anymore or have emotional flashbacks associated with it, you know, you just get to the point where you're like, you know what, I've been there, done that, I've wasted my time on this person, I've wasted my time on trying to deal with this situation, and you don't want to do it anymore. You want to enjoy your life. You want to move on. My goal is to help you get to that point. So, if you're at this stage, excuse me, think about what I'm just saying, and then also start thinking about if you started putting more attention and more effort on your life, on finding your peace and happiness, on doing stupid things like I did. I mean, I ordered, well, I had this from last year, you know, some LED lights. Last year I did a lot of stuff learning how to make knots. Promptly forgot it when I did my little solo camping trip a couple of weeks ago. I got up to where I was going and I couldn't remember how to do it. So I've been practicing. So I strung a guy line, whatever, from my tree over here to my truck. Super simple. Tied it up, clipped up these lights, plugged them into a USB thing. I mean, just stupid stuff, you know. So, but it's just like, it makes me happy. It just was, you know, it's fun. It's, you know, I'm kind of like pretending like I'm camping. I'm sitting in my front yard. That part's kind of annoying. Cars are going by. That part's annoying. I see the neighbor's lights. That part's annoying. But I mean, it kind of gives me a glimmer, a memory of a couple weeks ago when I went up to Kennedy Meadows and by myself, no one else around, strung up these lights. I couldn't remember how to tie it correctly, so I just basically tied them onto a branch Oh, I did have a string, but I didn't know how to tie it, so I did it, old school way, and just chilled out, and it was awesome. And that's the thing, your whole life doesn't have to be consumed with constantly thinking and ruminating about the situation and the ex. Now, I understand that if you're in the early parts of this, it's ongoing. Your ex probably has leverage through the courts and through just finances and whatever, and can make things as complicated and difficult as possible. But even with that, you can carve out a space to where you escape their BS. And once you can start doing that, it like builds on itself. So just, if you're struggling with this and you're wondering about your future, I hope that this little pep talk will have you at least feel that there's a possibility for you to break free from this, because I know I've seen it so many times. I've seen so many people get to the other side of this and regain their life and minimize what the ex has done to them and doing to them. And it's and you guys are destined for that too, and you'll get there. On that, I'm going to wrap this up. If you're new to this channel and this information seems like it's helpful, and you're like, hey man, this guy makes some sense, please consider hitting our subscribe button, ring the bell notification, click down, say all notifications so you get notified when I post a video. Love to hear what you think about this and how your progress is. If you could leave a comment, it definitely helps the YouTube algorithm. When they see people subscribe and like and thumbs up or thumbs down, I mean any engagement, it makes them think, hey, maybe this video is not so bad. Maybe we'll share it to other people. All right, on that, hold on to your hope, and I'll catch you on the next video.